What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Rae.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Q.
And we are the Goddess Babes,
Welcome to the Goddess Babes Sip and Spill podcast,
where we deep sea dive into raw, unfiltered, heart-to-hearts between two best friends.
Gang, gang.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to get wet, y'all.
It's going to get wet.
What's up, Goddess Gang? It's your girl, Q.
What up, y'all? It's Rae.
And today's spill is going to be friendship breakups. Knowing when it's time to break up. Should you tell them you breaking up? Should you just walk away and never answer that phone? Should you ghost them? How you breaking up? That's what we're going to talk about today. No, just basically knowing when to walk away. So get your glasses.
Let's get wet.
All right, y'all. So, Goddess Gang, what's going on? Yes. So, we're going to be talking about these friendship breakups. Now, I could probably tell y'all some things about some friendship breakups.
It's going to be Q sesh today. It's going to be Q sesh.
Because I'm a firm believer in cutting bitches off. Now, Rae, on the other hand,
cut that bitch off.
Yeah, Rae, she going to let you roll with it.
For too long.
And roll with it.
Too long.
And roll with it. So we could probably let Rae go first with her one, maybe two stories. And
that sounds good. That sounds good.
And then I'm gonna go on and tap in with y'all and let y'all hear a couple of my stories and shenanigans with friendship breakups.
Yeah.
We also gonna have a little segue from Captain G here.
Yeah, he's got comments.
Our co-producer on friendship breakups. Right?
Yeah, he's got comments.
All right. Okay.
So
let's talk about it.
So for me. I do believe that
it's gonna be quick, y'all. It's gonna be quick.
I do believe that it can be necessary and beneficial depending on the person and the situation. I can probably count on one hand how many friendship breakups I have had, and were they really friendship breakups? I don't know. Basically, one of them, technically probably not, because we kind of had like fallen off, but there was no animosity, no bad blood, nothing. It's just one of those like you stop talking kind of things, but not for any particular reason. You just you living your life, they're living theirs, and it just hasn't been.
Life is life, and
you haven't thought, let me reach out to this person. They haven't thought that, so but you were fine. Right. So like, but if you saw them, you would probably catch up and like whatever. Okay. Well, anyway, that person ended up sleeping with an ex. Well, I only have one ex, so
and that's a serious ex, and that wasn't a breakup.
Yeah, and we were already, there was no need to break up because we had already kind of like slipped away, or like we hadn't been close anymore. So that's why I said it doesn't really count as one, but it was someone that I was cool with, and she knew all about him because we were cool during our relationship. But then we just kind of had we kind of had separated some, and then there was nothing to chop though, because we weren't talking. Like, it wasn't somebody that we literally hadn't talked. It just so happened she was friends with, and this ties into another episode that we just had actually, because she was friends with somebody that I wasn't friends with anymore. It was a whole thing. Like, so those two situations that I had, like the friend that is friends with, someone that you're not friends with, it was a whole thing, because there would have been three in that scenario, and two of them people, one of them would have been my best friend at the time, who we all know, she was cool with something that I wasn't cool with anymore. Right. And then the person that I thought I was still cool with, we didn't have no problems, we just hadn't talked, was the one. So in the time
of not talking, she messed with the ex.
Right. But it wasn't like I said, it wasn't, we had an issue and we weren't talking or whatever. But who knows? Because I just was minding my business, taking care of my child. She could have not been talking to me for a reason, because this nigga was available, like out and ready, hot and ready.
Talking to
like,
you,
so he was available. So who knows? But it don't really, whatever. It is what it is. So it wasn't technically a breakup because we weren't really doing anything anyway. So there was no breaking up to do, because we hadn't been cool. So there was that situation, and like I said, I didn't do anything. Like, whenever, I don't remember. I had to have talked to her at one point in time and like addressed it, but it wasn't a whole lot to it. Like, it was like, you don't feel like that was wrong, yada yada, this is why it was wrong, or why I felt like it was wrong, right? But I didn't know about it when it was happening. I had found out after the fact. Yeah.
You still talk to her now?
No, because again, we hadn't talked, but like when Jay was in the hospital and stuff, she reached out. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like so there was that. And then the other situation was more of a difference in opinion that me and a group of friends had Not gonna get into the full story, but it was also like, okay, we just can't be cool because we just don't agree on something that's kind of important to me.
Right.
And then another situation happened, which again I spoke on before. This is still the same friendship that the other person I was cool with him and I wasn't. Right. And that was fine because it was what it was. But those are the only situations that I have where I actually had like where I stopped being friends with someone. But again, it was more so like it wasn't out of like force. It wasn't a breakup, so to speak. It was just like I agree to disagree, and then the other one was we weren't really friends anyway, so it doesn't really count as a breakup. But we never became friends again afterwards. Right. But it wasn't like we had to. There wasn't a definitive. So I haven't had to stop a friendship. So basically, I'm saying I don't have any actual friendship breakups to speak on. But do I see that other people need to have them and that they are necessary sometimes? Yes, because
they are absolutely.
In one of my situations, it probably could have been whether that was on their end or my end. Mm-hmm. There definitely were probably times in those relationships that we should have broken up because it could have been toxic or it was one-sided sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like only when it's toxic and one-sided on purpose is it necessary, because sometimes just like in a relationship, a romantic relationship, it's not 50-50 because
correct,
we're gonna all have bad times or bad days or bad weeks or bad fucking years. Like some people just have bad shit happening to them because that's their season for the bad. They gotta weather their storm, and so they may not be the best of friends at this time in their life, and some people have their season is longer than others.
That's absolutely true.
You could think you being the best of friends sometimes, the best friends to somebody, and they feel like you're not there not so in much. Some way or another. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like it's subjective. Absolutely. And if you don't care enough about the other person to make sure that you feel like that you're doing your part and you're being there with their feelings, then it can be you can be thinking you're doing great, and somebody might want to break up with you. You know, that's true. You just don't know. So that's my little tidbit on it, and then I'll just kind of comment or whatever with your stories, because I've never had to break up with somebody before.
Oh my gosh, this one right here. All right, well then, before I go into mine, then why don't we get Captain G's feedback, his commentary on it, and then I'll we'll segue into me. Captain G, you're gonna have to hop on the mic somewhere.
Okay, which one you want me to get?
It sounds like hers.
You could do mine.
Okay. You're excused. They probably didn't hear you.
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, wonderful. You need me to come closer, or
no,
you can sit down right there?
All right. I'll take a seat. I mean, my only thing is I kind of believe like when it's time to cut somebody off, it's time to cut somebody off. You know, for whatever the reason that you decide that you feel, because I think that's healthy for yourself. You know,
right?
And it's it's just healthy for you moving forward and the things that you want to do, and just in general the way you want to be and live. You don't need the people around you that are not there for you.
I agree.
I'm in the midst of a situation, and it's taken me a long time to like decide whether or not I even want to do this. I think it's taken too long, honestly, now that I think about it. But it's like we don't need to be friends anymore, and I'm gonna have to have that conversation with them, because this is it's my longest living friend. I've known him since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just one of those things. We can't treat me poorly. Like you can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't look down on me as if I'm less than, and expect me to still be your friend. Right. So
I agree.
I'm going to have this conversation with him, and I'm going to have it face to face, because I think that's the best way to do it. Because I want to see, like, I want to look in his eyes when, you know what I mean? When I'm telling him, like, the reasons why. Like, I want to see if he even understands. But, because I can say anything in a text message or, over the phone and not really get the real feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but that's pretty much it. I think any given point, when it's time, it's time, and that's just it. Yeah. I feel like it's time.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Captain G, for sharing that, hopping on the mic with us one time for the one time. And before Q dives in, because she's gonna dive, I would just say, because he said a very good point. When it's time, it's time.
Right.
Everybody has a different time. Everybody has a different
Absolutely.
breaking point, as we spoke about before. So when I said I haven't had a situation that has been bad enough for me to where it was like it's time. Like this shit is now. If that
It's draining.
one that I was talking about with the ex getting with them, if that would have been happening during an actual time of us hanging out with one another and communicating with one another, all that would have been different. You know what I mean? But because it was happening at a time where one, I didn't even know about it, and two, we weren't even speaking. Because we had beef, but we just weren't speaking. I can't. What is there to address in that situation? Right. So I have been fortunate enough, I guess, to not have been presented with that. Have I been presented with things or like been in friendships that were more one-sided or like selfish at times? Of course, but you know, we all have everybody has those different times where they're more needy than not. And then some people have those friendships, and that's the way that those relationships are set up based on those needs. Just like we talked about before a couple episodes ago, like, you know, you have friends for different needs and seasons and reasons. So, you know, you got your party friends, you got your church friends, or you got your couple relationship. Yeah, like you have people in your life for reasons, and it's up to you and that person, I guess, to determine what those needs are that you need from each other, and how you can coexist and make it a mutually beneficial relationship from one another. So that's, before she goes in, I just wanted to say, like, I don't feel like I've had anything that I needed to break away from and separate myself from the friendship standpoint with the same sex, but I have had a friendship with the opposite sex that needed work and definitely needed like space and to like reconvene at a later moment. And that is where we are, and we'll see how that goes. But that's the only probably one that I would be able to say, like, that could have been a friendship breakup that was needed, that I didn't let happen like that. And it broke in a way that wasn't as healthy or nice as it could have been if it would have been something that I would have taken that time and addressed it and did what you should have done. You know what I mean? So we'll see what you learn from your experiences with yours.
I learned that I was right for cutting the people off when I cut them off.
Because that's not what I... Nope, that's not what I meant. I don't. They're high-fiving.
I learned. Okay. No, in all seriousness, because one thing I give off a way tougher exterior than what I really am. I'm really like soft and sensitive on the inside. So when I really do care about you, it does take me a little minute. Have I cut people off that's been like, I don't, whatever? Absolutely. But those wouldn't be, to me, really cutoffs. It was because I didn't care one way or the other. But to really cut a friend off, I had to think about what was happening in the relationship, and did I really feel it was necessary to take a step back from it, and how would it affect both of us if I took a step back from the relationship. So I've only really had two that I would consider goodness, like I really did have to tell you I need a friendship break. This is a bit much. It's draining me. And the second one was this last time was very recent. I mean, if y'all remember a couple episodes back, we talked about going on vacation with a friend, going on vacation with your friends and coming back one less friend. It happened. I told y'all it was a true story. It's a true fucking story. That's what happened. And it was literally an overnighter. We just went to San Diego overnight, guys. we went to San Diego. She didn't make it back overnight, and it happened. You know what I mean? The first one, we had been friends for years. Okay. We had been a couple of years of a friendship, and she was battling some things, and I honestly can say that I stood 10 toes as long as I could. But it comes to a point where when it's just so draining to you, and it's draining people don't think about energy.
That's why I said it's all connected.
I believe you said it in the last episode. Rae, sometimes it takes on a lot. You're taking on a lot when you're dealing with another person who's constantly going through things, or because they don't really know how to work things out for themselves. They always are pouring onto you, and so it doesn't leave you much room to pour yours issues onto anybody. When do I have someone to turn to? Exactly. And two, not only have I not had anybody to turn to, but I'm dealing with my own shit, and then I'm taking on your shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can be a lot. And I'm not going to say that the person was not a good person. She had a heart of gold. I can't even lie. She was a really good person. But she could be a bit much. And then there are other factors, you know, you want to hang out, you want to have drinks, or you want to do this or do that. And everybody's not equipped to drink or have several drinks,
guys,
or have multiple
Pause.
drinks.
I feel like this is a good time for an advertisement. Whoa! What does that mean?
Because some people, you have an angry drinker, you have the drinker that cries.
You got the whole drinker.
You have the whole drinker. You have the drink that's gonna chill. You got the one that's gonna pass out probably.
Does this have anything to do with your breakup? Is that why you said it?
Okay. Yeah, because it was a lot.
Yeah, what kind of drinker was she? Because we want to know.
She was the cry drinker.
Oh. We said, oh.
She was the cry.
That ain't as fun.
Cry drinker. Okay. And so it's very hard for me to be tipsy and be trying to work with you through your crying.
Correct.
And you're tipsy.
Yeah.
And
don't
it's
blow
not
my
even,
high. Don't blow my buzz.
But it's not even just that. It would be the things that you would cry over,
Okay.
It just would be a lot.
Is it like, but are we talking about like, we talking about something and then it's like, oh, let's keep partying? Or is it like the night's over because
no, bitch, the night is over, you're crying and we're taking you home. It's done.
Like for real?
It's done. You're embarrassing me out here with this crying and shit.
Okay.
It's done. It's done.
Okay.
And that's when we would be out. The times that we would be at my house or, at one of, each other's homes drinking, it would be a little more tolerable because we weren't out in public. And I don't have to try and drag you or bring you anywhere. But at the same time, it's just, do we really have to cry every time? I mean,
Captain G's laughing, guys. He's having a good chuckle.
He's laughing because he knows the person.
He done unwrapped his head, his breathing. He's feeling some type of way. He's sitting there feeling good,
the
sitting
person.
pretty.
He knows the person. But it,
okay.
Yeah,
well,
he said he remembers. It would be a lot. It would be a lot to take on. And then I'm not even gonna lie, it wouldn't just be drinking, even in sober moment, even just on a regular day.
So the person was just emotional, like too much emotional baggage, or like too emotional for
too much.
Where you were like her emotional needs were far beyond your capabilities. Or
absolutely. I absolutely. I have no degrees or licenses.
Exhausting.
No, I don't have a degree or license to help you with what you need to help with.
Okay.
I feel like there's only so much that any friend can do when you don't really. I can tell you what I think. I can just give advice, but I don't fucking know if that shit is gonna work. What I'm talking about, because you're dealing with something that's far beyond what you're telling me or what we're talking about. It's something deep within that you have to really try and get to someone to talk about. So it would just be a lot. And like I said, just as a whole, heart of gold. She had a heart of gold. But it got to be very, very draining.
Yeah.
I don't have time to keep reassuring you of things. I don't have the time or energy to keep on taking on your stuff. I mean, I got my shit. I have a child. I'm a single parent. I have a lot on my own plate without adding yours and without you even recognizing that I don't want to say dumping onto me because we were friends and I don't really feel like you're dumping onto your friend. But
right.
It's just at some point you have to recognize, like, well, dang, when does she ever have an outlet or who does she ever, because she's always taking my stuff on. And then I'm a firm believer that once you come to expect things, you no longer appreciate it. So she began to expect me to be there. She expected a lot from me. And so she stopped appreciating it. And at that point, it was just like, okay, I really have to look at this. Like, I know she has a good heart and I know she doesn't mean anything by it. And we would have conversations. This wasn't like you did something to me a few times or this happened and I just was like, oh, I can't be your friend. We had conversations about it. And she says she understood where I was coming from. Yeah. But that liquor, that's a hell of a thing when you vibing out and you got music going and liquor and that shit turns quick. You understood me yesterday, but today we on a whole different level of some shit. So it just got to be a lot. So
okay, let's talk about then what that breakup looked like. So you had a conversation.
Like
a full on heart to heart or whatever. Like
well, I wasn't gonna say it was a full on because at that point I was kind of annoyed. So what I did the heart to hearts were long gone. We had a couple heart to hearts before I finally had to wrap it up. So I ain't gonna say it was all sentimental and shit. What I said was the way this conversation played out was I just said, hey, I think I'm gonna have to take a step back from this friendship. I need a friendship break because this is becoming too much for me.
And
that is what I have
said. Questions. So pause. Hold your. No, it's not. It's not. And hold your story. Like hold your thoughts on your story because now I just have a question that I don't want to miss.
Go ahead.
When you said break, had you had intentions on resuming the friendship. Is that what you really meant, or were you saying break as in break up, just for clarification purposes?
It was a breakup, but
so you lied. When you told her a break when you knew you needed more than a break.
Because I mean, even with a breakup, there could still be a time, but there could
because a break means come back, reconvene.
Well, because
break means this is a moment of,
it's just a moment of time right now,
stepping away.
But it's
you
broken.
Could put it,
it's broken.
But that's a break. That's a break up of the stick. It's not a break from the stick. There's a difference. You break
from the stick is you put the stick down,
not
correct.
Breaking it in half.
Well, my thing was, in that moment, I felt like it was just going to be. I needed a break,
that's why I was asking. See, Mr. Captain G, she didn't say she was breaking the stick.
Yeah, I definitely felt like I needed a break, and I did not care how long that break went, basically,
whether it was permanent or just temporary. You just needed to step away.
We needed that, and it turns out it's been a breakup.
Okay. Okay. And then that's okay. On. So you said.
So that's what I told her. I just told her we need a friendship break. Literally, okay. It's a lot right now. And she said she understood and she got where I was coming from, because again, it wasn't a blindside moment. We had conversations before. We had many conversations before. Okay. So it wasn't like it was something that just came out of the blue, or it was just like, and I felt bad. I honestly felt bad for saying it. I did. I absolutely felt bad. But I felt bad because I felt like, I don't want to say she needed me. Maybe she relied on me a lot.
That's one thing that makes. We were talking about that.
On me a lot.
It's that codependency or that dependency that one person gets that makes it so difficult to separate yourself. And we're talking about friendships, but that happens in romantic relationships too. You get to the point where you feel like, but they need me. Like, and am I abandoning them? Because people do have abandonment issues.
And I knew she was battling things. I knew she was struggling with things, and I didn't want to be another person that was up and walking away, or she had gotten close to, and she was relying on it. She would always be there for her, and then I turned around and walk away. But again, at some point, I had to put myself first. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot, and for my peace of mind and sanity, we just had to have the break. And I did feel bad. I felt very bad. And we still follow each other on social media to this day. Do we talk outside of? Absolutely, we don't talk outside of. No, but we do still follow each other on social media. It was no harm, no foul. There wasn't animosity. It wasn't like I hate you. It wasn't anything like that. Right. It literally was just becoming too draining for me. And we both had other things going on, and I just couldn't see continuing in that same way. If things could be different, I wouldn't even care about resuming a friendship. But again, so much time has passed. It's kind of like whatever's dead in the water. But at the time, I just wanted that break, and if it picked back up, it did, and if it didn't, it didn't.
Okay, so you, at this point, has that person ever reached out to you or said anything? Okay, so you guys both mutually were fine with the separation, and both can see that break was necessary. And so if that person reached out to you again and wanted to go for drinks or whatever, would you be open to that?
Absolutely. Like I said, she was a good person. She was a good person. There was no beef. It was no pressure. She was a good person, and I know that. And I know she had things that were going on. I just felt like sometimes they were above what I could help you with, or help you come to terms with. Okay. So that was really what that was.
I mean, so that's absolutely, it's a breakup, but it's not
it wasn't a devastating, cruel.
It's not you having to separate yourself from someone for life because they just well, that's good then.
So that one wasn't too bad. That could always turn around. It's not. I haven't closed the door on it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, we continue like we've been continuing.
Now, you're not on the mic anymore, so we can talk to you from afar. But the situation that you were preparing for or going through, is this one something that it's like you were referring to earlier, like you're breaking the stick, or are you setting the stick down?
No, I'm done.
You're breaking the stick.
Yeah, it's no need.
There's no saving. There's no... Because, people change. People seem to love to change when you're no longer around. That now sometimes that means that once you come back around, they revert to their old ways, but a lot of times people do seem to wake up and understand when you're no longer there. You can't miss it till it's gone. So you don't know what you got till it's gone, rather. But if you felt is it, you think that you're done, or do you think that you're done for now, and if later down and on down the line he gets it together or whatever, you will be open and susceptible to a new potential friendship.
I can never say never. Like I don't know what'll happen in the future, but I can say right now that I don't need this person in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right.
Not in the capacity that he's in, and that I've tried to be. You know,
right.
That I've tried to be.
Yep.
And the things that I've tried to give. Like it's no reason for me to continue to. It's no reason for me to continue to give that. So. So
you've got to be done, and this is okay.
So do you think it took you this long to come to this conclusion because you wanted to be sure it was a completely done, or am I okay? So you wanted, so you took the time and put in the work time to really think about,
for sure.
Like, cause like I'm seeing this shit happening, and I'm like,
right.
Is this for real? Like,
am I bugging or what?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He asked me to come over here, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm amongst his friends.
Like,
the people that he know. I don't know nobody.
Right.
Everybody else is cool with me. Mm-hmm. Everybody, like they cool with me, offering me drinks and.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening. Stay tuned for part 2.